this video, I'm going to explain about multi-tenancy in Filament, which is very important topic. Actually, multi-tenancy is very easy if you are understanding the things correctly, and if you are not understanding the things correctly, then it is very confusing. In this video, I'm going to build a simple project to explain about multi-tenancy. If you are new to this topic, don't worry, after watching this video, you will be able to implement multi-tenancy in your projects. So let's start. And first of all, let me show you the presentation. We are going to create a very simple patient management system. So suppose we are having multiple clinics, let's say clinic 1, clinic 2, clinic 3 and many other clinics. Each clinic will have doctors, patients and appointments. Every clinic will have its own data, and users of one clinic, let's say clinic 1, they can't access the data of clinic 2, clinic 3 and other clinics. Similarly, the users of clinic 2, they can't access the data of clinic 1, clinic 3 and other clinics. They can only access the data of clinic 2. In this project, doctors are shared across multiple clinics. So a doctor can have access to clinic 1 and let's say clinic 3. Then that doctor will be able to access the data of clinic 1 and clinic 3 only. In simple word, this kind of approach where each team or each branch have its own data and they can't see data of other, you can say, branches or teams. This kind of approach is known as the multi-tenancy. In this example, we are not going to create separate tables for clinic 1 and separate tables for clinic 2 kind of things. Database and tables will remain same, but we will create the project in such a way that users of clinic 1 or any other clinic can't see the data of other clinics. So in this case, as I have already mentioned, doctors are shared across multiple clinics, so we can assign doctors to the multiple clinics. A single doctor can be assigned to multiple clinics. In this case, each clinic will have its own patients and own appointments data. This data will not be shared. It is gonna be our model structure. So we will have a clinic model. For doctors, we are going to use user model, which already exists in all the Laravel projects. We are going to use that user model for doctors. For patients, we are going to create patient model, and for appointments, we are going to create appointment model. In order to implement the multi-tenancy, every model must have a relationship with this clinic. So we are going to create these relationships with the clinic. So between clinic and doctors, or you can say between clinic and user model, we will have many-to-many relationship. And between clinic and patient, we are going to have one-to-many relationship, which means a clinic can have multiple patients. Similarly, between clinic and appointment model, we are going to create one-to-many relationship, means a clinic can have multiple appointments. So the relationships explained here are between clinic and other models. Apart from these relations, we are going to have one-to-many relationship between patient and appointment as well. Also, we are going to have one-to-many relationship between doctor and appointments. So we are going to have these migrations in our project. We already have the user migration, and to create many-to-many relationship between user and clinic, we will create this clinic user table. We are going to use Laravel naming convention here. So this table will have these two columns, clinic ID and user ID. And also, because the relationship between patient and clinic will be one-to-many kind of relation, so that's why we will have this patients table, and in this patients table we are going to have this clinic ID, the foreign ID, you can say. We are going to have this clinic ID. Similarly, for appointments table, we are going to have this clinic ID as the foreign ID. Also on the appointments table, we will have patient ID and user ID as the foreign IDs. So it is very basic and very simple kind of structure. So let's start. So I'm going to start with the fresh filament project. As you can see, it is a totally fresh project and nothing inside as of now. Let's start creating the models and migrations. Open the code editor. We already have the user model and users migration. So we have to create other models. Let's create clinic model. So we have to use this command php artisan make model clinic, and let's pass the migration flag -m in order to create both model and migration. Let's create it. Let's create patient model. migration, and let me pass factory as well in order to add some dummy data into the patient table. We will use this factory. You can see 3 files have been created. First is patient model. Here we have this patient factory, and here we have patient's migration. Let's create appointment model. And also the migration. Also, in order to create many-to-many relationship between clinics and users, we have to create a migration. Let's create it. PHP artisan make migration, create clinic users table. So we are done with creation of migration and models. Let's open the migrations in database folder, in migrations. Let's open this clinic migration first. Let's create the columns. We are going to have clinic name, also we will have address. You can create more columns as well, but let's keep it simple. Let's open the patient's migration. We are going to have name column. We will have email column, and let's say phone column. Let's open appointments migration. So we forgot to add one foreign ID in patient migration. Let's open it again. We have to add foreign ID for clinics. ID will be clinic underscore ID. Constrained to clinics table. Let's say cascade on delete. It is just an example. So on the patients table, we are having this foreign ID. Then the column name is clinic underscore ID, which is constrained to the clinics. And for this example, I have set it to cascade on delete. Let's open this appointments table. And this table gonna have 3 foreign IDs. First would be clinic ID, constrained for clinics, cascade on delete. And other foreign ID will be user ID, means one-to-many relationship with the doctors. Also patient ID. Here we have to write users, and for patient ID, patients table. You have to correctly write the names here. We are not writing the model name, and you know model name is always singular. The model name is clinic, but table name is clinics. So table name is in most cases plural. So that's why we have to use clinics here. Similarly for users and patients. You can check the name here. We have clinics, patients, and users. So we are going to have appointment date. Also, we are going to have appointment time. So let's keep it simple. As of now, it seems okay. And one column we can create as appointment number. Let's create it. We will create some random number for this column. So let's open another migration. This many-to-many relationship migration. Let's open it. This clinic underscore user migration. It will have user ID as well as clinic ID. I hope you know it that in order to create this migration for many-to-many relationship, we have to write these in alphabetical order. So we have to consider this first letter of clinic and first letter of this user. So in alphabetical order, C is always before U. So we are writing clinic underscore user. Similarly, let's create a clinic ID first. For an ID, clinic ID. And user ID. So we are done with the migrations. Let's close these migration files. Let's open models. First of all, let's open this user model. And also let's open this clinic model. We are going to create many-to-many relationship between user and clinic first. Let's first write on this clinic model. So clinics will have many users. So we have this belongs to many method here. And in this belongs to many, we have to pass this user model. So it is a very basic thing. I hope you know it. Let's copy this. And let's create it in user model as well. Let's import the classes for belongs to many. Here we have to write clinics. And also the clinic model. We are done with this. Let's close this user model. Let's open patient model. So first of all, let's switch to clinic model. Let's create one-to-many relationship here first. A clinic will have many patients. So here we are going to use has many relation. Has many patient. And on the patient model, we will have belongs to. Let's open this appointment model. Let's switch to the clinic model first. Similarly, we want to create one-to-many relationship with appointment. Let's copy this method. This clinic will have multiple appointments. So let's write appointments. Appointment model. And on open appointment model. Let's write the relation. Belongs to clinic. And we have created all the relations. Let's close these tabs. Let's write factories to add some dummy data. In the database folder, in the factories folder, first of all, let's work with this user factory. User factory is already created by the Laravel, so we don't need to worry about this. Let me just change its password to 1234. So we are done with the user factory. Let's close this user factory. Let's open this patient factory. Let's open patient migration first to see the column details. So these are the column details here. Here we have this clinic ID as well, foreign ID. So let's not create this factory. In order to keep the things simple, let's ignore this as of now. Let me close this. Let's open seeders. Inside the seeder folder, database seeder, we are going to add data for users only. Let's uncomment this. We will have 10 users here, and we are going to create one extra user, test user. Let's name it test@test.com. So we are going to have, you can say, total 11 users. 10 will be created here and one user will be created here. Also we have password field. Let's write text doctor because we are creating doctors. So let's migrate. PHP artisan migrate fresh and seed. Process is completed. Let's refresh the project first. Test@test.com 1234. So we have to create resources. Let's create the resources. PHP artisan make filament resource and the name of resource. First we will have user resource. And we have to pass this generate flag to automatically generate all the fields. It's created. Let's create other resources as well. Clinic resource. Let's create patient resource. Let's create appointment resource as well. Refresh the page. On the left side, you can see we have created all these resources. Let's open the code editor. Let's open resources, app filament resources. Here we have all the resources. So let's start with the clinic resource. Let me open the clinic resource first. As you can see, with generate flag, these things are already created, like this text input as name and address. So we don't need to create them. In the table, we don't need these fields created at, updated at. Let's delete these table columns. We are fine with name and address. So our clinic resource is okay. Let's open another resource, that is user resource. So here as well, fields are automatically created for form and table. We don't need this email verified at, delete this. Name, email, password, okay. On the table, we don't need these columns. We need only name and email. That's all. Let's open patient resource. So while creating filament resource, if you are passing the generate flag, it is the magic of generate flag. It is automatically creating all the form fields as well as the table fields. Here you can see it has automatically created this select box here. You can see select form field and the relationship with the clinic. So it is a very good thing. Here on the table, this is incorrect. We don't need this numeric method here. And we don't need these fields here. Let's delete them. In this form, we don't need this clinic relationship. It will be automatically updated when we will implement multi-tenancy, you can say, feature of this filament. Let's delete this. Now let's open appointment resource. Here in the form, we don't need this clinic ID. Let's delete this. It will be automatically added. So in this appointment resource, we have to modify these fields. First of all, let's delete them. In order to create the appointment, we will have an option to select the patient. Let's do it this way. Let's use select component. Patient ID. On the appointment model, we have this patient relationship and we want name of the patient here. So we are done with this. I'm just keeping the things simple. Also, we need to add user ID here. Clinic ID will be automatically added by the filament. So let's create a hidden column here. So we are using hidden column here because we don't want to manually enter the name of the doctor, or we don't want to select the name of the doctor. The doctor who will create appointment, he will be automatically added here. Let's add default value. The doctor who is logged in, his ID will be automatically added here. So as of now, we are done with this. On the table clinic name, let's remove this numeric. Let's remove numeric from here as well. And column name will be user.name. Let's add label. Doctor. Here as well, patient name. And we don't need these fields created at, updated at. Let's delete them. First of all, let's refresh the project. As of now, we have created our project structure, but we have not implemented filaments, you can say, multi-tenancy feature. We are going to implement it in the next step. Let's check this users table. It is fine. Here we have data, name and email IDs. These are basically doctors. Let's try to create new. Name, email ID and password. Okay. Let's click on patients. Let me do some modifications. Let's open all these resources one by one. Let's start with the user resource. Let's comment this create and edit. Save the page. Let me show you why I am doing this in case you don't know it. Let's click on users. This time when I will click on new user, a form will open in a model. Now you can see it is not opening the new page. This model or pop-up box is opening. This is very much convenient as of now. So let's do this with other sources as well. Refresh the page. Let's click on patients. Table is empty because we don't have any data. For new patient, we have this form. So perfect as of now. Let's click on clinics. Again, table is empty. Let's see the form. We have name and address for clinics. Okay. Let's open the appointments. Here we have an error. Let me close this as of now. Now let's open the filament documentation. In the filament documentation, on the left side and under this panels tab, we have this multi-tenancy. Let's open this. Let's scroll down. You can see under the title setting up tenancy, in the panel we have to implement this method tenant and we have to pass the class. Let's do it. In the app folder, in providers folder, in filament folder, we have this admin panel provided. Let's open it. Let's implement tenant method. And here we have to pass the class. In this case, it is clinic. So we are done with the first step. On the users table, first we have to implement this interface has tenants. Filament models contract has tenant. Let's do this. App model, user model. We have to use this as tenants, filament model contracts. Also here they have mentioned that we need to create a relation. In their example, they are using teams. We have already created the relation, that is clinics. Let me show you. Here we have this clinics. Let's copy other two methods. Paste here. Let's import these classes. Import this filament. Illuminate sport collection. Let's import this. And here instead of teams, we have to use this name clinics. Also, let's import this model. Illuminate database eloquent. Let's import this. And again, instead of teams, we are going to use this clinics. And we have successfully implemented, you can say, Filament's multi-tenancy feature. Let's see the documentation. You can read more about multi-tenancy on this page. I'm not going to exactly follow all these things. So here you can see they have mentioned adding a tenant registration page. You can add it, but I'm not going to add it because we have separately created the resource to add more clinics. So we will use that you can say resource to create more clinics. So as of now we are done with this. As we were on appointments page, and after enabling this multi-tenancy, when I have refreshed this project, so here we have the error 404 not found, because Filament is looking for the, you can say, clinic, but we don't have any clinic data in the table as of now. Let's create it. Open the code editor. Let's open database seeder. Whenever we are using multi-tenancy feature of Filament, we have to take care of two things. First thing is we have to create a tenant with the help of this database seeder, and second we have to attach at least one user to that tenant. Now what we are going to do is, first we will create a clinic, then we are going to attach a user to that clinic. So let's create the clinic. Also, let me make some adjustments. Whenever we will be running this seeder, let's cut this line and paste it here after this user. It means when we will run this seeder, first of all, this user will be created with the name of this test doctor and this email ID, and its ID will be 1. After this, these 10 users will be created. After this, a clinic will be created. Now, after creating all these things, we are going to attach the first user to this clinic. So let's attach this test doctor to clinic 1. So let's write let's assign it a variable. Pass it here. We can paste them in a condition. If user table is empty, and also if clinic is empty. Let's run the command. Let's run this migrate fresh command with this seed flag. It will delete all the existing tables and then migrate all these migrations, and then it will seed the data. So here is an error. So before attach, we have to write the relation name. Let's run it again. Completed. Let's refresh the page. We have test@test.com. Let's open the clinics. You will get this error because in all the resources, Filament will look for the relation with the tenant. So in this case, our tenant is this clinic. So it is not possible to create a relation, you can say, of the clinic with clinic. That doesn't make any sense. What we have to do is open the clinic resource. Here we have to, you can see, overwrite the property is scope to tenant. Set it to false. Just write this property protected static boolean is scoped to tenant and set it to false. So whenever Filament will load this clinic resource, it won't be looking for any relation with the tenant. Refresh the page. You can see now it is working perfectly. We have this first clinic that we created in the database seeder. You have to always create first tenant with the database seeder. Also, let's click on users. again that error will be there. You can see now error is again here. Okay, let's open this user source. And here we have to write the property tenant ownership relationship name and the name of the relation, that is clinics. Save it and refresh the page. Now it is working perfectly here. You can see here we have only one user, but as you remember we have created 11 users. Let me open the seeder. You can see here first we are checking if this user table is empty, because we have used migration fresh, so obviously it was empty. First it has created this test doctor and then more 10 users, but here on the table we have only, you can say, one user. It means our multi-tenancy has been implemented successfully. There is a reason for that. Let me show you the table. Let's open the database. Let's open this users table on the database. You can see we have 11 users. Data is here because we have attached only first user to the clinic one. You can see on the left side now we have this drop down kind of thing. So Filament is looking for the relationship, and Filament found only this user that has been attached to the clinic one. So that's why Filament is displaying only test doctor. Let me show you another table. Let's open this clinic user table. You can see we have attached user ID 1 with the clinic ID 1. So that's why in clinic 1, as of now, we have only one user. In order to show other users, we have to attach them with the clinic. Let's open these clinics. Let's add some action here to add users to this clinic. Let's close this. Let's close all the tabs. Open the clinic resource. In the table method, inside these actions, let's create a action. Filament tables actions. Let's add an icon. Let's implement form method. Let's write select component. Let's add some unique name to here. Selected user, let's say. So add this relationship. Multiple. It's enough as of now. So also we have to implement action method. After this form, let's implement action. Pass the closure. Here we will have array of data. Let's grab these users. This will be an array. Also here we will have record. And we have to write clinic class. And with the help of this record, we can attach users. Users. Let me write this sync without detaching. Let's refresh it. You can see now we have this add users action. Let's click here. Let me select the users. Okay, let's modify the code. Let's write searchable and preload. Save and refresh. Click on add users action. Now we have all the users here. So let's attach few users. I'm attaching 5 users here and one user is already attached. Submit. Undefined array key selected users. So there is a spelling mistake. Here we have selected users and here we have selected user. Let's copy and paste it here. Here we are grabbing data from here. So this array key should match this. Refresh it. Not found. Let me check it again. Let's open this clinic user. Now you can see there was an error, but we got some data added here. And somehow our first user is removed from here. Let's modify this code a little bit. Actually, we don't have to use this relationship method. Let's remove this. Here we can use options method. And here we have to pass array of users. So in the options method of this select class, we are passing array of users. From a users table, we are just getting name and ID, converting it to array and passing it here. And selected data will be grabbed here. You can read more about this method, sync without detaching. It means it's gonna sync the data. It won't be repeating the entries in the table, but it won't be deleting the entries which are already existing. You can put your own conditions here and you can use attach method as well. The purpose of this video is to show you about the multi-tenancy, so I'm keeping the things very simple. Also, let's run the migration command again. Let's open the URL. Now let's try to add the users. We already have this test doctor. We don't need to add this. I'm adding 5 more users here. Let's add them. Now the error is gone. Let's check the table. Now you can see in this table we have 6 entries. Now it is working perfectly. Let's close this. Let's open this users page. Because now we are in clinic 1, so these 6 users are in clinic 1. So we are seeing the data of users which are attached to clinic 1 only. Before creating more clinics, let's try to check with patients and appointment as well. Let's click on patients. Let's try to add a new patient. Let's write test patient. Test p at test.com. Just a random number. Okay, so we have the error, the fillable property. Okay, what we can do here is in the app folder in the providers, we have this app service provider. Let's open this app service provider. In this boot method, let's write model class. This one illuminate database eloquent and implement unguard method. Simply save it and close it. It will unguard all the models. Let's refresh it and try again. So as you can see, now we have added the patient data. This patient has been added successfully. Let's check this patient's table. Here you can see we have entered this name, this email ID, this phone number, but we never entered this clinic ID. But we got a clinic ID here because this patient has been created from clinic 1. So that's why the clinic ID is 1. When we will select clinic 2 and create a new patient, that entry will be here, but clinic ID will be the ID of that clinic. So it is working perfectly. So it is the beauty of, you can say, Filament's tenant system. It is automatically adding its relationship ID. Let me close this table. Now our patient is working perfectly, user is working perfectly, clinic is already working perfectly. We are left with this appointment page. Let's open this. After testing this, we will create new clinic. Let's try to create a new appointment. So we have some error here. Okay, let's inspect this. Let's open appointment source. Everything is correct here. I guess we have not created a relationship between appointment and patient. Let's open the models. Let's open patient model. On the patient model, we have only one relationship with clinics only. So we have to create the relationship with appointment as well. Let's create it. A patient can have multiple appointments, so has many would be there. Has many appointment. Also on appointment model, there will be belongs to a relationship. Let's copy and paste it here. Patient. So we have established the relation between these two. Let's close the models. Refresh the page. Let's click on new appointment. Let's select the patient. So as of now, we have added only one patient in the database. So we have only one patient. Let's select this. Let's select the appointment date. I guess we have to implement the time selection here. Here for the appointment time, let's use time picker. Save and refresh. Also select the time. Let's type some random number. So we have successfully created the appointment. So as of now, we have successfully implemented the multi-tenancy feature. Let's try to create more clinics. Clinic 2. And let's create clinic 3. Let's add some users to clinic 2. Let's add this user as well as this second last, Amy Swift. Let's add this as of now. And let's add some users to clinic 3. Let's add this one. Let's click on users. We have added various users to various clinics, but as we are into clinic 1, so we are getting the data of users in clinic 1 only. I have logged in as a test doctor, this ID. So let's add this ID to multiple clinics so that we can switch between the clinics. Click on clinics. In the clinic 2, let's add users and also add this test doctor. Submit it. Also add this test doctor to clinic 3. So this test doctor can visit any clinic and check the data of any clinic. So let me refresh the page. Now let me click here. Perfect. Now you can see I have an option to choose the clinic. Clinic 1 is already selected. So let's choose the clinic 2. Now I'm in clinic 2. In this URL, you can see here is the ID of clinic 2. Very soon we are going to modify this URL as well. But as of now, let's see. It is the ID of clinic 2. We are into the clinic 2. It's mentioned over here as well. Let's click on users. So these are the users that belongs to clinic 2. So because this test user is available in all 3 clinics, so that's why it is here as well. So let's switch to clinic 3. Here we have only one user and we have added the test doctor. So there must be 2 users. Let's click on users. Perfect. As you can see, now we have these 2 users here in clinic 3. We can easily switch between clinics from here. We can create new clinics. Let me click on clinics here. Let's create patient into clinic 3. You can see in clinic 3, the table is empty because we have not created any patient in clinic 3. Let's create it. Let's name it clinic 3 patient. c3p@test.com. Now we have this patient here. Let's check this patient resource because this column is empty. Everything is good here. Let's check the relation. I guess there is some problem in that relationship. Let's open the patient model. So here we have the problem. Sorry for this mistake. This patient belongs to this clinic. Here we have to write clinic class. Let's save it. Refresh the page. Perfect. Now we can see here we have the name of the clinic, and we have other data of this patient as well. Let's try to create the appointment. Let's click on new appointment. Now here is a thing to note. Let me click here. We have created only this patient here in this clinic 3 patient. But in the select box, it is showing all these patients. This patient, test patient, is from clinic 1. We want to show only this clinic 3 patient here because we don't want to see the other patients which don't belong to this clinic. So let's do this. Let's open the code editor. Let's write our condition here. In this relationship method, we have third parameter, that is modify query using. Here let's pass a closure. Let me make some space here. Here we have to write builder. This Illuminate database eloquent builder. Query, and let's apply condition to this query. Where belongs to. And here we have to write filament class. This filament facades. And we have to use get tenant method. Save the page. What we are doing here, we are just modifying this query and we are writing a condition. Only show those guys who belong to this clinic. You can read about this get tenant method on the multi-tenancy page of FilamentPHP.com website. You can check more in the documentation. Now we have applied the condition. Let's refresh the page. Click on new appointment. Now we have only clinic 3 patient which we have created in this clinic. Let's click this. Let's create appointment. Let's select some date, time, some random number here. Let's create it. Now we have this appointment and we are missing the doctor name here. Let's again check this appointment. You can say resource. Let's check the appointment model. Here we are missing the relationship with the user. Also, let's open the user model. Again, we don't have any, you can say, relation with the appointment. First of all, let's create a relation on this user. Let's write it here. A user can have many appointments. Save this, and on appointment model, Let's copy this, paste it here, and user. Save the page, refresh it. Now this column is working. Now we have the doctor name here. Similarly, let's click on clinic 2. Let's check users page. We have 3 users belong to this clinic 2. Let's check patients. We don't have any patient here, but let's try to create appointment first. New appointment. Let's see if we have some patient here or not. Now this is empty. Now our system is working perfectly because we don't have any patient in this clinic. So that's why it's not present here. Let me click on clinics. Let's open third clinic. Now I am in clinic 3. Let's try to log in with some another user. Let's click on users. Let's copy the mail ID of this user. Let's open another browser. Let me open Firefox. Let's open the project. Let's paste it. 1, 2, 3, 4. And we have logged in successfully. Now here you can see we have this clinic 3. And because this user with which I have just logged in, it belongs to this clinic 3 only, and it doesn't belong to multiple clinics. So when I am clicking here, so there is no any option to select multiple clinics. Let's click on users. Now you can see we have these 2 users. This test user which is present in all 3 clinics, and this user which is currently logged in. Let's check the patients page. So in clinic 3 we have this patient only. So we can't see the patients of, you can say, other clinics. There is no option to see that. Let's create new patient here with this user. Another user. That's a weird name, but for this example, just do this. Some random mail ID. Some random number. Create it here. Perfect. Now let's try to create the appointment. Earlier this appointment was created by this test doctor, so that's why that name is here. Let's create another appointment. Now we have these 2 patients. Let's click the newly added patient. Let's select the date. Appointment has been created. Now in this doctor column, you can see the name is automatically added because this, you can say, appointment has been created by this user or this doctor. Okay, so let's visit this clinics. As of now, any user can see this clinics page. Let me show you why. Let's open the clinic resource. Because we have written this is scoped to tenant. Whenever you are writing this is scoped to tenant, means for this resource, Filament is going to ignore this multi-tenancy. Filament won't be checking any relation with this page itself. To prove my point, let me show you another thing. Let's click appointment resource and let's try to use that here. just temporarily just say false. And now let's click on this appointments page. Now you can see I have 3 appointments and the clinic name is mentioned here. This appointment belongs to clinic 1 and these 2 appointments belong to clinic 3. But we are logged into clinic 3. Why we are able to see this, you can say clinic 1 appointment? The reason is we have ignored the tenancy system because we have written this is scope to tenant. So Filament is going to ignore this relationship. So it will be just, you can say displaying the all the data. So let's delete this from here, from the appointment resource. Save the page and click on and refresh the page. Perfect. Now we have data filtered to clinic 3 only. Also, let's write a condition for this clinics resource. On the clinics resource, let's implement a method can access. You can write your own logics, but for this example, I'm going to write this. Only the user with ID 1 can access this. If ID is 1, this condition is true and that user can access this. First of all, let's refresh this page, which I have opened in the Google Chrome. Now I have logged in as test doctor. Let's refresh it. Because the ID of this test doctor is 1 and I have logged in as ID 1. Now I can access this. Let's click on clinics. See, I can access this page. Let me open the Firefox. Now I have logged in as a clinic 3 user and its ID is obviously not 1. Let me refresh the page. Now you can notice this sidebar. Now we don't have any clinics page here. Also, as you can notice in the URL, we have this clinic ID present, you can say in any URL. Here in case of clinic 3, we have this 3 because ID of clinic 3 is 3. Here in Google Chrome, let me change it to clinic 2. Our URL has been changed to ID 2. This is not a professional way, you can say, because our ID is being shown here. There is a way to hide the ID. Let me show you how. Just open the Filament provider. In the providers, Filament, admin panel provider. Here in this tenant method, we have mentioned this clinic class, and as a second parameter, you can mention the slug. Let's say slug. But in this case, it's not going to work. The reason is, let me open the migration. Let's open the clinic migration. This is the clinic migration. Because I don't have any slug column here, so that's why it won't work as of now. You can create a column here. You can name it anything, but let's name is slug as of now. Make sure this name here and here, these are same. But as I am changing it, obviously I need to, you can say, freshly migrate all these migrations and our data will be erased from the table. Okay, what we can do here, just for this example, let's manually modify the table. Here we have this clinics table, modify table. Let me manually add a column. Now we have this slug column here. So let's manually write the slug. For clinic 1, let's write clinic 1. Let me save it. Let me revisit the URL. Let's delete this too. Perfect. Now you can see we have this slug here. Let's change it to clinic 2. Now we have clinic 2 here. So you don't have to name your tenant like this way 1, 2, 3. You can name it anything. So in this way you can implement multi-tenancy in your Filament project. In order to explain you, I have just created a very simple project. On the documentation page of multi-tenancy, the Filament team has clearly mentioned that implementation of multi-tenancy is your responsibility. Means we have to carefully implement all the methods and we have to carefully apply the conditions at various places, because in any case you are missing in any condition, you can break this you can say security. Like in case of appointments, let me open this appointment resource. Like it was a very important thing which we have, you can say, used here in the relationship method. So if we are not using this, means we are not filtering the data. So such kind of conditions are very important. Also you have to restrict the page where you are creating this, you can say, tenants. You can implement roles and permissions, etc. things. So I hope you have learned a lot about multi-tenancy in this video. See you in the next video. Thanks for watching.